All right, Kylie.
Yes.
Kylie, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I'm from Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix. And tell me about your family.
My family are WASPs, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, very conservative, very religious, very, gay people go to hell, all that type of stuff. And, kind of like, we have a bunch of skeletons in our closet. Our family's perfect, it's all a big show to the public and certain people in the Phoenix society, so me being the extreme black sheep is a complete outcast, the only family member with tattoos. I'm transgender, I'm gay, an adult baby. All that stuff is just not cohesive to their way of life.
Right. I can understand there must have been some difficult things. When did this come out for you? What age were you when this started showing its...
I'm about 10 years old. So feelings of wanting to experiment with homosexuality and wearing my mom's clothes started in 5th grade when I was 10. Yeah. And slowly I was just looking at Google image searches, and then every day after school I'd try on some of her panties, or just one of the biggest things though was her lip gloss. For some reason I would that was my favorite thing to do. But I got caught painting my nails one time because it smelled like nail polish in her bathroom, and then I removed it with nail polish remover, and it made it worse. And she came home, she was like, what were you doing? And basically I told her, and that's when she found out, and she was like, my mom is very supportive of it. She's just afraid of my dad, so she just
How does your dad feel about your lifestyle?
He'd rather me be a drug addict than transgender. I can openly use around him. I can say things, right?
Sure.
I can shoot up around him. I'm an IV, user. And but if I'm dressed as a female around him, he freaks out. He's burned my clothes, thrown away hundreds of dollars worth of clothes of mine. If he sees me dressed like a girl, he'll say things like, "Why are you doing this to me?" And I'm like, "Motherfucker, to you? This has nothing to do with you,
Tell me about, where do you think this came from? Why do you think you're interested in dressing like a baby? Are you acting like a baby as well?
Sometimes, yeah. But it's hard when to act like a baby if I'm not
you're wearing
treated
a diaper,
like a baby.
You have a car seat, you have a pacifier.
Right. And I guess it's because it's I don't know, why exactly. It just makes me feel super comfortable. Especially being in a diaper is really just comforting. Kind of feels like I'm being it's like a hug almost. And it's just I don't know. It's just I honestly don't know, because it's the transgender feelings came when I was 10. But not necessarily the baby feelings. Those came much later, and it's they're sexual. You know what I mean? It's but at the same time, it doesn't always have to be. Because I'll have days where I'm in a diaper all day long. You know what I mean? And it won't be sexual at all. So I don't know, but acting like a baby is I want to, but it's at the same time, it's I can only do that if I'm around someone that knows about it and accepts it and can maybe treat me that way, so I'll get in that headspace. Because it's obviously I'm 30, obviously an adult, and people see me as an adult male, whether I'm dressed as a woman or not. I'm dressed like a chick and I'm called bro. You know what I mean? So it's I'm seen as an adult male, so I'm not seen as a baby, obviously, and I know that, and why would I be? But
do you have friends?
So I literally have one friend. I have one good friend left. I just lost my 2 best friends in June. They were a married couple named James and Brittany Butler, and they passed away 2 days apart, separately. I was with my buddy James in the hospital while he died with him. And his wife died 2 days before that.
What did they die of?
a blood infection, sepsis.
Wow.
Yeah. When he passed on the 16th of June, we were trying to find his wife, Brittany. We thought that she was in rehab. We didn't find out until mid-July that she had passed away 2 days before he did. It's a trip. It's one of those things that's like makes no sense. It's almost like their souls like they had to be together.
Were
you know what I mean?
Intravenous drug users?
They were drug users, yes. And they were older. They were 50, and so it's like I loved saying like my other best friend is 40. So it's like I used to love saying like I'm 30, my other best friend's 40, and my other two best friends are 50. It's kind of a weird dynamic, but so it's like, yeah, I really don't have anyone that I trust left except for my other one friend. I have my childhood friends, but like I wouldn't call them friends anymore because we don't talk, and like to me that's not what a friend is.
Right.
So
are you happy?
No, but at the same, you know what, I was happy before my parents' death put me into a terrible depression, so it's like, no, I'm still fucked up over that. Yeah, they were my world. I mean, like, I had a year sober between March of 2020 and March of 2021, and, hanging out with them and getting high was like, I would have taken that than any day sober, you know what I mean? Like,
So drugs are a part of your life as well?
Yeah, drugs are a huge part of my life. I've been using heroin since I was 17 and meth since I was 16, so it's weird to say that I've been using heroin for 13 years. It's crazy too long. Longest I've had clean is a year. I've been to over 50 rehabs. It's not an exaggeration. My mom's made a list through the ABCs of every rehab I've been to, and like I've been to both the passages, so I've done all that 12-step shit. But yeah, I'm a heroin and meth addict. I definitely want to state that I don't use fentanyl. I don't like it. And heroin really, like, for a long time made the feelings of being a baby go away. They made me feel like I could be a tough guy and like an adult, you know what I mean? Like, I got these tattoos on my hands to like, when I was trying to like find myself at 23, like hanging out with, these like tough guys, fucking people that I shouldn't be around, and that's just not me. And like, for a long time, heroin made it so like I didn't have to feel those feelings, and then speed really brought them out. But within the last year, heroin or not, so even sober or not, and it doesn't matter if what drug I'm on or not on, I feel like a baby, like a lot. Especially after my friends passed, it's like all the time.
Is dressing up like a baby a sexual thing for you?
It is and it isn't, because it's like most of the time I'm by myself when I do it. And it's like, I mean, sometimes when I'm by myself, like, of course, like I'll watch some like videos and like, or whatnot, but like half the other time I just do it to like look cute.
So you'll dress up like this?
Just because I like looking this way.
How often do you do it during the week?
Every day.
Oh, every day.
Like if I can, like, like at the minimum 5 days a week. And that just has to do with my roommate because like he's my other best friend, but like he's not cool with this. I dress as a female every day, but as a baby, that's, hidden. But I'm completely out as transgender. Like, it's not a secret to anybody, but it's, I mean, and everyone kind of knows about the baby thing too, you know what I mean? It's just, it's just not easily talked about. It's not something I go around and like,
Do you have people in your life that just accept that you're different and
yeah,
and that they don't judge you, they don't?
It's actually kind of amazing. My friend Tamara, she like used to be like, my babysitter, so she would like, when I told her about it, she like started babysitting me and stuff. So I've met like certain females like throughout my life that became like kind of like the mother, like babysitter role. Mm-hmm. So I've had people accept it,
Have you been in love before?
I have. I've been in love. Only once. It was with a girl. Yeah, but only once. But so, like, I hate labels pretty much. I don't know, but I don't know what I'm into really. But like, I'm definitely not trying to date a girl again.
What emotions do you go through with this lifestyle?
With the relationship?
Well, just like being a transgender baby adult. What do you get depressed? Do you get angry? Do you get frustrated?
I get angry and I'm scared and depressed a lot. Like I'm afraid of like almost all guys, it seems like. That's why I was saying, you know what I mean? Like it's probably the first time I've ever like just been talking about this with another male one-on-one. I've never done that before, you know, because obviously like I don't talk to many people about it, and it's like I'm just like kind of afraid of guys. Because I've been like, you know, harassed and made fun of because of this, because of people finding out. I've had people like taking pictures of me in my tent and like they like unzipped the tent door, I guess, and like took a picture of me, and like you could see that I was like wearing a diaper and had a pacifier in my mouth, and they showed everybody in the homeless community. So it's like, that's why I say like people know, you know.
You're not hurting anybody.
No, exactly. So I've had my tent burnt down for this. I've been beat up for this. In high school, I lost some of my friends for this.
Are you homeless? Are you homeless?
Yeah.
How long have you been homeless?
So I've been homeless off and on for like 6 years, but like it's been like 18 months since I relapsed. But I just got into a tiny home, so I'm living in a tiny home type thing. But I'm
That's better for you.
still kind of homeless, you know. But at least I have like a bed to lay down and shower and 3 meals a day.
Yeah. How do you support yourself?
So like my real mom, I still like call her my mommy, sends me $12 a day, which I'm like extremely grateful for, because it's like, I've told like snobby people out there like, what does that do? And it's like, well, I'm lucky that she gives me $1, you know, I'm 30 years old, she shouldn't have to. And then, you know, other ways is just kind of like, you know, I have a car, so I use my car as like, you know, means for, to make money, giving people rides and stuff. I even go on Craigslist and do like the ride share thing. Like people like, hey, I need a ride to Las Vegas. And if they're, you know, paying enough, do it. So yeah.
Are you lonely?
Yeah.
I would think it's got to be a lonely lifestyle for you.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. It's like, not to go back to like, you know, my friends, but like before that, it's like I wasn't lonely, but like now I'm just like staring at my phone all the time, trying to like find like a mommy to like take care of me, because it's like, I would love that. That would definitely be my dream, you know what I mean? But, you know, it definitely is lonely, because it's like most people think it's like, you know, I'm sick and it's like perverted, and it's like, it's not about that at all. Like, you know, the ABDL community, and it's like, I'm not that affiliated with the community, but it's has nothing, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not fucking anything fucking weird or anything like that, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't even want it to be sexual, like most of the time, like, you know, but a lot of people get that misunderstanding, you know, like my roommate, like, he actually like didn't like me for like a long time, because I was talking to his friend who was a girl about it, and he was like, stop, like, you know, inflicting your perverted baby shit on like my fucking homegirl, you know. And so like, you know, people take it that way. Or I have like a friend who's a girl who has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend finds out, like, I'll get my ass beat, because it's like, you know, oh, you're hanging out with my girlfriend in diapers, blah blah blah, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, it's definitely lonely for sure.
What are you afraid of? What do you worry about?
I'm worried about, it's kind of like ironic, but like I'm worried about actually embracing and accepting the adult baby lifestyle. Because I mean, there's people in ABDL like that'll like ABDL stands for adult baby, diaper lover, and like I'd be considered an adult baby, but I don't really consider myself a little. I just don't use that word. I just like calling myself a baby more, I guess, because like it just feels more right in here, you know? But I get, you know, why commonly it's little, you know what I mean? But I'm just kind of, you know, that's why I say I'm not too affiliated with the community. I just kind of do my own thing. And it's like, I don't know. I'm afraid of like accepting like myself as a baby and actually like finding someone that'll like be okay with that and like giving it a shot. Because usually I self-sabotage. I fuck up a good thing when it comes. You know.
You find yourself self-sabotaging yourself?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we all do it to some extent.
Like, I've had like opportunities for like good relationships, like be like knocking at my door and like completely fuck them up. You know. I mean, a lot of the times in the past was because like they were with like these gorgeous women, but like I was not into chicks. But like a lot of the other times, still it would, like just platonic relationships. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people would find out too much about me. You know, like I would like, you know, run from it. Like I've had people like also find out about this and like be like, oh, it's okay, and like I'll just get like embarrassed and just be like, oh, I made it all up for, you know what I mean? Like,
was there anything in your childhood that may have created this?
So, you know, that's a question that's typically asked, like trauma and everything. And like, I had a great childhood. Like, I know I said about my parents in the beginning of the interview, but like, they're good people. Like, and it's weird to say, like, it doesn't sound like it from what I said initially, but like, you know, it's, like if I can understand, like, you know, a father not necessarily wanting their son to be a girl, not nonetheless like an adult baby, but like,
yeah, it's got to be hard for your dad.
Yeah, but like he's gone out of his way more times than I can count and spent trying to get me clean, and he's always been there for me. So it's just like, if we put just like the transgender stuff aside, and he told me, you know, if I get sober and I still feel transgender, which I will because I always have, then he'll support it. You know what I mean? But like, he just refuses to believe that, like, you know, like I started doing it when I was 10. He even like thinks that like I created like these false memories. But I mean, my mom and I know the truth because she caught me, and like, you know.
Caught you what?
When she caught me painting my toenails when I was like 12.
Oh, I see. Right.
But like to him, you know, he thinks it's all drug induced. You know, because he's like, I would have noticed you like doing that like in your childhood, and it's like, no, you wouldn't have. All I was doing was wearing like panties in my room, like, you know what I mean, and like just getting off pretty much, you know, and just, I don't know. I have a crazy imagination. For me, it's like I just imagine myself doing certain things, you know. So.
Did you have dreams of doing something different with your life when you were younger?
When I was younger, all I wanted to do was be an adult. And all I wanted to do was like things that weren't for kids. I started getting messed up really early. I started drinking when I was 9, smoking weed when I was 10, like doing coke and all that, 14, you know what I mean? I excelled in school. And I was able to hide that like part of my life, you know what I mean? Because I was, you know, not like to have any like sort of pride or like I definitely don't condone like drug use. It was just something that like at the time like that's all I wanted to do, and I felt like I was good at it, at hiding it at least, and managing my life. I don't consider myself a functional addict at this point, but at the same time it's like in my childhood I was like listening to like Eminem and Korn and Slipknot in the first grade and sneaking around like R-rated movies, like, you know what I mean? When like all I want to do now is like, you know, relive a childhood, like, I don't know, and do the right things.
Would you say you love yourself?
Yeah, actually I would. And I would say that this actually comes up a lot in conversations I have with people. I was a scumbag. I used to be disgusting. I'm an IV user, and I I used to be the type where I'd see a needle on the ground, and if I had to use it, I would. And it's disgusting to admit that, but that's who I was. And I did get Hep C, but luckily when I was sober for that year, I got it treated, and I'm still clean from it. Fuck yeah. I got my blood tested 6 months ago, and it's still clean. So that's amazing. And like ever since I had that relapse after being sober, I haven't shared a needle with anybody. I haven't. And, the whole point of me saying all that is that, the whole using the rigs on the street type thing, is a huge form of self-hatred and just, treating yourself poorly. Like, a person that's doing that obviously doesn't think very highly of themselves or care about themselves. At least I didn't. You know what I mean? And it's I may not be happy, but, I do care about myself. Even before tiny homes, I made sure to at least swim every day so I'd be clean and it was hot, you know what I mean? And brushing my teeth. I never used to do those types of things. So it's it's a form of just self-love, basically.
Yeah. What was your favorite memory as a kid?
Favorite memory as a kid? Let's see. I mean... When I was a really little kid, I used to dress up in different costumes every day, when I would go to preschool. And I just remember that being a super fun time in my life. Every day I'd come home my mom would make me a new costume. I'd be like, I want to be Spider-Man. She'd make it, because it was in the 90s. You couldn't just go to the store and buy a Spider-Man costume. Mm-hmm. So I would, that's one of my favorite memories, just hanging out with my mom while she would make these costumes and I'd go to school and I'd get all this attention because it's it's kind of in the movie Daddy Daycare. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's this one kid who dresses up as Flash, but whatever. But kind of like that, It's sort of seeking out attention.
What was your worst memory?
My worst memory is probably let's see, having one of my friends pants me basically, and I was wearing a diaper and one's for girls, and and all my friends seeing that, and losing basically all my friends, a lot of my friends because of that, and the ones I didn't lose had to say hey, I'm sorry, but we can still be friends, but I have to pretend to not be your friend.
Do you think that was a formative moment in your life?
Yeah, because there was a period of time where I was a mean person. Dealing with all this in high school especially, you know what I mean? I used to... a word that I only consider there to be two bad words in my dictionary, and I don't use them anymore, but I'll just use it for the sake of just I used to just go around constantly calling everyone faggot. That's a word that I will not use, you know what I mean? If someone uses that to try to hurt me, it's I'm going to be offended by it, And it's I was an asshole. I was a mean person. I was, not kind. I was vindictive. I used to, be spiteful.
This was high school years?
Yeah. It was 14, to 17, because, 17 is when the whole pulling of the pants thing happened. And I started wearing diapers. That didn't start with wearing my mom's clothes. That started in my late teens. So probably 16. But yeah.
If you had your life to live all over again, what would you have done differently?
I want to say that I would go up to my mommy and be I want to be a girl, but I still don't think I'd be able to do that. I still just don't think that would be allowed because, all my life I've wanted to get different presents for Christmas or my birthday, but that's just never gonna happen. They'll never call me Kylie. You know what I mean? They'll never look at me as a daughter, and I could be okay with that, to be honest. You know what I mean? my family died 2 months ago. You know what I mean? This is my blood family we're talking about here, but like my true family just passed away. So it's like, you know, I don't really have much. I'd be devastated if my, you know, real family, like, anything happened to them, but like my fucking family that like, you know, they're gone. So it's like, if I could do it all over again, I would. I don't know if I would do anything differently. I don't know if I could, you know? I mean, I would try to just be a nicer person, be a better person. That's the thing my friend James that passed away, he actually said to me, if there's anything that I would want you to like impress upon you is to think more about other people. Because like when I met him, I used to like litter a lot and like, you know, I blow up on people a lot and like, he taught me how to sit and think and like, you know, not just blow up on someone and just because they like are staring at me, just to pause real quick and not explode. And just, he taught me how to grow up a little bit, ironically. You know what I mean? Because even though I consider myself an adult baby, I've still like grown up in a lot of ways.
And Kylie, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
The most important lesson? Most important lesson is just, it's kind of cliche, but it's basically just don't waste time. Just fucking own it. Own who you are, whatever it is. Don't go your whole life like being like, you know, gay or something and never like admit it or like anything and just like kill yourself over it one night, you know? Because that's so sad and it happens, and I feel terrible for anyone that's had to deal with that. So I would say the most important lesson I've learned is just own it. I mean, even if it's that, or in my opinion, I'm double fucked because transgender and the adult baby thing. I mean, I've had a therapist tell me like, wow, that sucks. you have both, because it does, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's a lot, but I'm a lot better off and happier just embracing it, you know what I mean? And that's kind of why I'm doing this, because I honestly think like, you know, yeah, there's definitely people out there that I wouldn't really necessarily like want them to see it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't care anymore, because it's like their like opinion on me does not inflict or have anything to do with my happiness or have anything to do with how I feel about me as a person. And like the only people, there's no one around that can like, you know, influence how I feel about myself, because no one can make me angry. I have the power to do that, or sad, or, you know, embarrassed, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I have the power to make myself feel that way. So it's like, I can't blame it on the camera or you or anything else or me, you know, it's just me, you know? So just own it and embrace it. And it's cliche, but you know, if people want to be your friend, they'll stick by your side and they'll be there. And I've learned that, and I've had that experience.
A lot of unnecessary hatred in the world.
Yes. And it's funny, my tattoos on my hand say love, hate, sex, pain. Because I believe, you know, even though there's all this unnecessary hatred, you know, but there's a lot of love out there too. But, you know, I used to be a very hateful person, and it's, you know, can't have one without the other. But seems like there's more hate nowadays, like you said, unnecessarily.
Yeah.
And people hate what's different too. This, like I was a little different walking in, but if I walked out, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so different. It's like, you know.
You get beaten up or picked on the street?
Oh yeah. You know what I mean? But like, at the same time, like if I went out walking around like this, it's like asking for attention. The whole like bonnet thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, it's like, I've walked around in public, like before as a baby, and everything, because it gives me like a thrill or whatever. And it's like, at the same time, it's like part of me wants people to see me that way, because that's like how I feel. And like, I've just been so lonely and like tired of like, you know, like just being alone all the time, like being a baby, you know what I mean? At least like people like, even though that might be like laughing at me, like, you know, I don't know.
Do you ever have dark thoughts, like suicidal or anything like that?
I used to in the past, when I was younger. I've had an attempt. I took my buddy's Glock and I put it to my head and I pulled the trigger and the safety was on, thank God. I was up for 5 days. I was not thinking about it at all. And it was just on the table. You know what I mean? At this point in my life, I was like 19. I was in Phoenix still. So like, it wasn't uncommon for like, you know, guns, like my friends especially like to have their guns just like on the table, you know, especially some trap houses I'd be at, you know what I mean? Like there'd be a lot of firearms around, you know. And that's another part of like hanging out with the people that I shouldn't have been around too, you know, because that's not me. And then I wrote a song about it. I'm a musician. I play guitar called Suicide Song. And I wrote that song in one sitting, basically. You know, like not the guitar and lyrics, but I wrote the lyrics and then I did the guitar and it was just like, it flowed like so perfectly. And just like, I don't know, that was like kind of a huge wake up call for me because I was like, I'd never written anything that like I was proud of and that like, also got a response from other people that were like, this is fucking a badass song. You know what I mean? It's sad, it's supposed to be, but like, you know, but yeah. So it's definitely made me suicidal. I get thoughts of not wanting to live anymore. I mean, to be honest, like there have been like occasional thoughts of like, I should just get some fentanyl and just take a really big hit, you know? But you know, I don't know. I just don't believe we go anywhere after this. And like, you know, I don't want to go anywhere after this. And so I just want to live life until, you know, to the fullest until it's over. Because I don't believe in a heaven or a hell. And like, I believe that when we're gone, we're gone. And our souls go on, our energy, you know, is released. But like in regards to a consciousness, I don't see one, and it's kind of morose. Maybe it has to do with the events of the last 2 months, but I don't want there to be anything after this, and so I want to live my life to the very fullest. I'm 30. I plan on starting my transition with hormones soon because I don't have many years left of looking hot and sexy. You know, more power to like Caitlyn Jenner, but like, you know, I do not want to go through this at 60. You know what I mean? And like, if I have to, I will. You know, because I used to be like, you know, I'll transition when my dad dies, but fuck him, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna start doing it and then I'll like eventually one day have boobs and he'll be like, what the fuck? And I'll just be like, yeah, what? So.
All right. Kylie, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.